I'm live. The computer says I'm live, so I must be live. What's up, party people? How y'all feeling today? It is Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, December 2nd, coming to you live from the sunny but cold today state of Florida. Today is the first time that yesterday, actually, technically, was the first time that I put on pants in the last 8 months. I've been wearing shorts for 8 months straight. And because of COVID, I haven't gone anywhere. So I've just been wearing shorts. Kind of weird. I'm wearing pants. It's 27 degrees out this morning. And tomorrow will be like 75. Classic North Florida crap. Hope that all of you are having a very good day. So what we do every single Wednesday at 2 p.m., which I have called Chartapalooza, is I take requests from my paid subscribers to the newsletter and I chart them for them. And then I write them up on Thursday in the newsletter. So I always took the chart requests, but now I am also doing this awesome video, which is awesome. So if ever you want to submit a request, you can see we got the newsletter right here. And in the description, I hope I put it, is where you can subscribe to the newsletter and get those in. It's $15 a month. I do it now every single day, Monday through Friday. It's a mammoth undertaking. It's the main thing that I spend my time doing is writing the newsletter. And today's was free. So you can check it out and see what you're going to get every single day by checking that out. Today's live stream is sponsored by Femex. They're amazing. It's where I trade with leverage, and they're giving away a $600 deposit bonus, or up to $600 depending on how much you deposit if you do that for the next couple of weeks, which is awesome. And also they're giving away a Tesla. And I think they're actually going to give it away, not like Justin Sun, who said he was going to give it away and then sent someone like $40 and was like, this is your cash payment for your Tesla that you're not going to get, which was super lame. A lot of people have given away Teslas and never actually gave someone a car. So we have a bunch of coins that we're going to be looking at today. I actually didn't put them in the description, but it looks like it's, and stocks, American Airlines, Doge, eGold, EOS, LRC, NIO, OMG, ORN, POLS, Wi-Fi, YFI, both pairs. That's a mouthful. So I guess we will dive into it as people start to show up here. People are already, everybody is in the comments just throwing out cash tags as if I'm going to actually do them, but I'm not. Just not. Like I said, if you missed it, it's for the subscribers to the newsletter. The rest of you, you're just not, it's not happening. It's not happening. You can write ABC, RFL, MBQ, doesn't matter what letters you type. They're irrelevant to me. They might not, don't even have to put them in English because I can't read them. Can't even see them. Sorry. So anyways, here we go. Let's dive into American Airlines. Look at the weekly first. Interesting. There's the 50 MA on the weekly. You can already see that's been a major resistance since April, right, of 2018. You see this death cross and just pain since, right? The 50 MA crossed down the 200 and has just been nothing but a downtrend since. Not what you want to see, but at least, we're trading close to it and potentially could get above. A flip of this line, I would say, on American Airlines would be extremely bullish considering it's been since April 2018. And the only time it was even tested was these two wicks here and these wicks and then rejected here. So really, it's kind of a big moment to be this close to it and having a shot at flipping that. It's hard not to look at this and see this like major downtrend. Obviously this is, the death of the markets in March, and then airlines continue down until May. If you entered here, you got in from $8, you had a chance to go all the way to $22 on an airline stock in like 3 weeks, which is just absurd and shows you how ridiculous the market absolutely is right now. But it then dropped all the way back down to about $10 and now is trading at $14.57. I mean, I would have to say that airline stocks in general are extremely cheap right now. I mean, let's look at the monthly, right? This, when airlines are actually flying and doing well, that's here, right? All of this. So we can expect eventually, if we come back to normal and we see a vaccine, up to here. I'm very bullish in general on airline stocks. I bought United because I just think it's the best company of all of them in the past few months. And so, I do think that they're going to rise again. We're going to see a vaccine. We're going to see people starting to travel. Then again, I think the airline industry itself will look very different because people have gotten so used to staying at home, working from home. Companies aren't going to be spending millions of dollars to send people around because it's just not their thing. Justin requested ABC, RFL, and BT. Oh, yeah, I will look at that for you, Justin, because, we're friends. It's a good coin. All right, so let's look at what we got here. If we zoom out to the monthly, I would say that, this area jumps out, but I don't love it. Maybe here, right? This is really interesting, right? So had this move here, it's all the way to 2012, this swing low and then movement away. And here that support has been broken with wicks, but never had a monthly candle close above. That is a really good example of a bullish SFP, a really long time before a really strong move down and then movement away. So that's encouraging. I would say that, we saw this crazy demand in that area, which is also, there's all kinds of price action in here. So I had a dip down into that. This would have looked a little bear flaggy here, but this long wick, this almost made it all the way back to the price before the drop. So that doesn't concern me too much. You can also see that American Airlines has been trending down since February 2018, right? It's not like this was all up here and then we saw an immediate drop. It was trending down and then kind of got the straw that broke the camel's back, dropping it down here. So let's go into the weekly. So weird with this candle, right? This kind of destroys any, because, maybe you would have drawn something like this, but it's completely blown with that. So I would say that we have a very clear kind of area that I would be interested in watching, which is this, right? I mean, you could even pull it down to there to get that, but really like this is, if we draw it back, that's, interestingly, let's even pull that back further like this. If you had been drawing demand, if you had been trading this in 2013, I talk about the supply and demand concept all the time, right? This would have been the demand, the last down candle before a strong move up. So check it out. Support, strong move out, support, support, support. And finally, that's where the key break came from. So that area around $26 is really, really, really an important area, I would say. Really would be awesome to be trading above that because then you're starting to head up to these highs. I just draw it on top. So again, also want to get above this line, I would say. Going on the daily, maybe we can see what's happening more locally. So the 200's coming down, but the 50 is heading up, which is good. That means that things are starting to trend upward. We're about to have a golden cross. I talked about this the other day on the stream. If the price is sitting right here when it happens, like touching it, I would expect this to go rocketing up. I'm not a big fan of golden and death crosses when they happen far from price, but when they happen like right where price is touching, usually you get support from both of them. Then you see price rise. So I would say I'm generally bullish on airlines. This is really interesting, right? Yeah, I like this, right? It jumped over, broke out, retesting a support. I would expect that we'll see this to continue up. So that's my general look at American Airlines. American Airlines is Doge, my baby. I love the Doge more than you know. Gonna let it show. I love the Doge. If you don't know what song I was referencing, then you're probably just young. What's interesting though is people think that it was I Love the Dough, which is the remix, but it's actually I Love You More, the Classic. But you don't need to know that. Speaking of loving the Doge, you know what, man? I'm sick of looking at this chart. Dark. I'll keep it. But makes me have to change all my colors. So yeah. Well, I said that, you know, I was trading it here. I was buying it. I'm still in some of it, like 16. And I said this would be resistance, and it popped right into that. So, right, this is like the key main huge area. Probably drawn on the weekly. I don't even remember. That's the area that Doge has always either launched from, or, you know, you have the launches from 15-ish, and then you have the launches from the 20s. So that was an obvious resistance. If we get above this, I would expect us to cycle all the way up again, at least do one of these Elon Musk SpaceX pumps. This happened when Elon Musk was talking about Doge, by the way, if you're wondering why that's there. So we still have this breakout, you know, which was really strong here, maybe kind of irrelevant, but like anything above 15, that's the lowest Doge has ever been. I can't, you know, this is one of those things, you just buy it and kind of wait a few months and hope that you get one of these epic pumps. It's been a long time, but I think that it will happen. But at this point, either you're buying here or you're buying above this. So you're catching like 25, 24, 23 from the top, right? I don't love this candle right here. That's when everyone got really juiced about alts, and then didn't go that great. Right. So Doge, I mean, there's really not that much to say, to be honest. It just has been sideways kind of indefinitely and forever. But I would definitely take that above here or down here, even in this area. I just think you can safely buy it anywhere from here. Take a small position. Don't worry about it. Like, I don't think Doge is going to zero, and we're pretty close to there. So that's my general view on that. E-Gold, aka Elrond. Someone's trying to be a Doge millionaire. That's a good thing. Would you consider to look at STX USD chart? I can't. Once your stock starts rising, how to determine the target, how to recognize it's time to sell. Thank you. That's a good question. So it depends on if you're trading or investing, right? I mean, if you're taking an investment in an airline and you're planning to, you know, not touch it, you can be years. And you can just hold it and hold it and hold it. It should slowly go up. If you're trading it, you have a defined target. I mean, you're asking about stocks, American Airlines, right? Maybe your target is this high. It doesn't matter. I mean, you decide on a target however you want, right? So maybe you sell at 2280, maybe you sell some of it. I like to scale in and out of positions. Maybe you pull some fibs of this top of this move to here, and these become your targets, which are pretty accurate, right? Right at this gap. This gap should fill eventually, even though it's a breakaway right there. Lots of action there. So, you know, but it really depends on your risk tolerance, your expectation. Are you a trader? Are you an investor? I mean, when I buy stocks, if I'm not just like sheerly trading them, I literally forget that I bought them and just check them like quarterly, every 6 months, every year. I check my stock portfolio and I rebalance it. I don't really approach stocks that much as a trader. When I have new cash, I look for a good entry and then I wait. Like, I don't think American Airlines is going to zero, so I'm not that concerned. So Elrond here. Well, if you've been following me, you know that we are buying it here on this bullish divergence and here at this support. And well, apparently today, I didn't know this, but it is going. It's going up, which is what you want. So it's up, what, from 494 to 5. It's good, 16, 17% move already today. No bearish divergence here, but look, this is a bullish divergence on the daily. I'll guarantee there was one on the 4 hour, although I stand corrected. There was not. Oh yeah, nope. And you get a bullish divergence and you get a pop, right? Easy peasy. So let's look at this. Well, I've already drawn this chart, so it's pretty clear here. And I made this red because this is really the key resistance. If we close above 574, which is still an if, right? This could easily close below, then I'm looking for something like this, right? Even conservatively, that's 792, which is a huge move from here. But I mean, I'm very bullish on this. This was a major downtrend that broke to the upside only, a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago. So I would say that there's not that much more to draw here. This is really good. And that's, from a wider perspective, a low, high, higher low that's now been confirmed by this going higher, right? So now anything above kind of 460 and you remain in this bullish structure, you can usually draw some sort of channel on that, which of course is now white, right? And actually, if you do draw that channel, it's breaking already out potentially, which would be very, very bullish to see this breaking out of that already. And you can pull this back here and get another touch, I'm sure, kind of, but that's very forced. So I like to start it here at the bottom. Yeah. So, I think this looks super bullish above 574. So, either you can FOMO in now, which I would not recommend necessarily, not my style, or wait for a close and then put some bids, maybe between like 574 and 580 and hope that you get a retest. If not, you might miss it. It might go straight there. But, this is the confirmation you're looking for, is the break of this red line. This was my first entry I was talking about when I shared it in the newsletter. This was the second. So we're getting that second one. So look for that break test. Again, these are areas. So don't put your order at 574. You'll get front run. Put it at 580, 577. Spread orders around from up here to down here and target here and sell some here. You don't do everything all at once. There's no point in doing that, right? Sorry, just doing something over here really quick. Yeah, so I think that looks really, really good. And it's a project I love. I'm very bullish on it in general. I'm a holder of this coin, so have at it. EOS USD. Every time I see this, I laugh at this savage head and shoulders with the retest and the dump. Gross, right? I'm just reading here, whatever. It's very hard for me since I have ADD to track what you guys are talking about and pay attention to what I'm doing and not completely have my mind be like, oh, look at the squirrel. Speaking of which, I was listening today. I just saw it in the back. That's DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper. It's one of the greatest rap albums of all time. If you grew up in the 80s, dude, I love that album. Parents Just Don't Understand was the theme of my childhood. Parents are the same no matter time, no place. They don't understand that as kids are going to make some mistakes. You guys know about it, right? And that launched the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But I was listening to it today, and it's really just absolute classic. See? ADD, what do you think? So EOS is just trading sideways. Listen, this line is kind of whatever at this point. Let's clean this up. I'm just gonna still think that's a good area, but like I said, they're kind of zoned. So let's pull that. I would say at this point, we need to pull over here. Okay, here's the situation. My parents went away on a week's vacation and they left the keys to the brand new Porsche. Were they mine? Well, of course not. All right. Jamie, you know that song? Jay Kelzer says the best show ever, so he knows about it. But you might not know the song. You might just know the show, right? The show is so good. This does kind of look like it's consolidating in a bull pennant of sorts. Maybe if we zoom in, we'll get a better look. Kind of seems to have, be working on a solid flip of this level. So I like it above 297. I would say that, if you're charting it like this, you have something like that. Something like that. Let's see if RSI is telling us anything. No, it's not telling us anything. Yeah. So let me clean that up. I would say, it's a sell below this support. It's a buy above this resistance. And in general, you want to hang above this blue line. And you can just if you entered, say, on a bounce off here, you can just, put your stop loss here. Ish, right? And then as price rises, you move your stop up. That's why it's so nice to have an ascending support, because you get to move your stop up as price continues, which is really key. Will I go over Bitcoin? Yeah, I can do that at the end. You know the album, you had it, but you were like 11. Yeah, everyone was like 11. I'm 44, so when that album came out, I don't know. That album probably came out when I was 12, 11 or 12 years old also. And their best album was actually Rock the House, which came out before that, and they were like 15. Little known fact, DJ Jazzy Jeff is actually one of the best, legitimately one of the best DJs on the planet. And I lived in Philadelphia for like 9 years, and I was his opening DJ. So like I used to DJ with Jeff like once a month. Absolute legend. Dude is ridiculous. So yeah, EOS, I would say that right now, if you're looking at it on a shorter term, this is your setup. LRC. I have not looked at this in ages, so I have no idea if these are valid. But we did have bearish divergence at the top, lower highs on RSI, and that was the ultimate top because it always is. Wow, there's a weekly LRC chart. I'm surprised I pull up a weekly on an altcoin. Actually, this line's kind of meaningless now. That line's also kind of meaningless to me now. It's hard to draw lines when you have these V's, or in this case, an A, you know. But let's go back to the daily here. Who was your first favorite DJ that made you start spinning? Jeff was really high on the list. Man, he blew my mind, and I lived in Philly where he was, so we used to go see him in college and stuff. He was definitely one of the first inspirations. Dude's amazing. Yeah, that's the line I'd be watching for personally for LRC. You know, listen, like there's a million ways to do technical analysis. I just find that these patterns tend to work the best. So if it drops, we have like a nice little demand here. Right, so this could be a nice support. Let me see where that line's coming from. Eliminate these lines. Who cares? Out with the old and in with the new. Fresh charts. I mean, you can tell this is such a key area, right? This, because like if you pull it all the way back, look how much action you have in there, right? It's all these supports. So let's just call that our kind of support. If we're looking at it super like zoomed in, you know, we're potentially making these higher highs. So let's see if we can do something like that. You could draw it like that and that looks worse, right? But let's give it the benefit of the doubt. But really for me, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just, even for myself, I'll set an alarm on this top line. If it breaks, I'll see what's what and consider buying this. But that looks pretty good if it breaks this line. You know, you'll have some resistance probably in this area. I would say kind of here-ish, maybe here. Any of these areas. Like I said, it's a zone, right? What it really is this. So don't get caught up in lines, right? All that. But it's easier to draw a line. So you can enter here. You can enter with a break of this, heading here, and ultimately your target is kind of up here, 2936. Big move, you know, almost 3x from where it is right now if you can get there. That'll be pretty sweet. So that's kind of my view on LRC. What do we got? Funk Master Flex first mixtape, that Summer Man, Yvette Michelle, Wu-Tang. Yeah, dude, Funk Flex. I was in a Telegram group yesterday, and you guys might know a guy, Pentoshi, on Twitter, and he was posting something. I was talking to him and I was like, yeah, where are you now? He's Puerto Rico. And he said something, and then I just sent him a video from the Funk Flex mixtape, Puerto Rico, oh, Puerto Rico. And everyone thought it was really funny. And I think they didn't know the context, like that was actually a song back in the day, but that was on Funk Flex's mixtape. Frankie Cutlass, Puerto Rico. Oh, all right. So NIO, this thing is so ridiculous. I'm in this, have been for ages, and you all know that because if you're in the newsletter, you bought this at $15 and on this retest at $16. And you've now tripled your money. Okay. A lot of money, doing good. So yeah, I mean, there was a huge dip buying opportunity today. I wasn't watching it, but you know, right here around 38 bucks. But I mean, this is like just insanely bullish, guys. And that actually, so you could have argued that was like a low right there. I don't know, maybe here was the last low, or there, higher lows. So like that barely has avoided making a lower low if it closes like this, which is maintains this bullish market structure. I would say that this is going to continue up, and that was a real opportunity today to buy this. But, you know, we have like kind of these areas. It's really hard to chart something that's like parabolic. I mean, if you let's look at the weekly, you know, but check that out. Right. I mean, maybe you even draw it like in here or something. I don't know. It's daily different, looks different on different time frames. Definitely a line there. Get rid of these. I don't think these are in play anymore. But, you know, at this point, you just missed your chance to buy it on support for a huge discount. So maybe, wow, I mean, you know, 38 bucks up to $46 on the stock. So now you kind of want to trade it above the high, I would say. Right? Something like that. It's hard to buy it between these lines. So I would wait until it's either below and then you sell it, or above that to buy it. But that was a very clear and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dip today. Dips are for buying on bullish assets, guys. Always. Don't get cute. OMG. Oh my God. It's a ridiculous name for a coin. It's good though. I charted this recently because I drew this. Now, you know, I usually like to draw things like this, but when you have this huge wick, it's very hard sometimes to draw a pattern off the line. And when you have a line like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, broke on the 7th touch, now is acting as support. That's good. But I wouldn't want to really be in this much below 24.46 unless you're looking for that, you know, 20% move to get back up there. But, you know, the way that you want to trade this after it got so smoked here, right? 3 times it tried to break that. So it's a clear resistance. So you really want to buy there, right? Like this is where you want to getting this. Now, if you're the type to catch a falling knife-ish, this is very much a key area here. So I could see, definitely have seen the argument for buying it right here or above, you know, so like you're safe above this. You have a very clearly defined sort of stop loss below this area, I would say. You know, some people would say then, no, but you got this, right? So maybe if you're really taking a wide stop in a smaller position, you could go below this one. But for me, this is clearly like the key support. I don't want to be below here. So bounce here, up and away. But we have officially broken out of this and retested it basically like 3 times. So I would say that this should continue up if altcoins continue to do well. But there's not, you know, let me try to find some targets for you. So there's a couple ways you could draw the fibs on this. One is we've got the retracement down, right? Which went, I mean, you know, 90, 80 something, 90%. The other way is to take the retracement from the top. But you have to hit the right button to do that, right? Call this the low. So these fibs all become targets. And as always, they're amazing, right? Look at that. If you were going to draw a resistance and support, you would draw it right there. If you were going to draw a resistance and support, you would draw it right there. Fibs are amazing. They really do almost always line up. Can I chart it against USDT instead of against BTC? Chart what? OMG? I don't know. Let me see. I might not. Let me see if I have a chart for that. Sure. E-gold is going to $999. That's a bold prediction. Someone says, and if someone says it, you know it has to be true, right? Anyone who makes a bold price prediction about the future is always right. Tweeted this yesterday. If somebody tells you what price is definitely going to do or what price has to do, you kick them in the nuts and you run fast away. because they're trying to sell you something or steal from you. Nobody knows the future. No asset has to do anything. Don't listen to that crap. Right? Charts don't tell you what's going to happen. They give you an opportunity to set a stop loss. That's it. It's a risk management tool. Don't get caught up thinking that price has to do anything or is definitely going anywhere. So this is how I would look at it on the USDT pair. Clear range here, and we're at the bottom half of it. So you really want to be kind of above there. I do like that it's trading above the 50 MA here on the daily. And, this looks like bullish consolidation, right? We had these major moves up. So like, just to give you an idea, like this is a huge like block of action, right? So we're above that. Now you're kind of forming another one. So it would be very hard to drop below this. This should be tons of support. I think this should continue up. Largely depends on Bitcoin. But I would say that it'd be really nice to be in the top of this range because see, this support, then fails, and it fails right there. So it'd be really nice, I think, to be above like 495. There's a lot of room between here and there, but I would be looking for a flip of that area. Are you purely in the mind frame of accumulating Bitcoin, or do you exit into Tether? Sorry, every once in a while, I randomly see one of your guys' questions and choose to answer it. So I'm purely accumulating Bitcoin. I would say, like, if you follow me, you know that I have a pretty much fixed portfolio allocation within my crypto portfolio. My crypto portfolio is generally 70%. It used to be 70% Bitcoin. Now it's 70% sort of long-term hold. So I have some altcoins in there, Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I'm at like 50% Bitcoin. I have 15% cash, and then I have 15% trading portfolio. And sometimes that trading portfolio will be purely in cash. So I'll be at like 30% cash or something like that because I don't see anything worth trading. So I'll go in and out of there, but at the larger portfolio, I don't really, I'm trying to accumulate Bitcoin. I don't like try to play games with my investments because I believe that they're going to go up over time. And I'm a very, very long-term focus when I'm investing. So what are we doing? Orn, yeah, everybody asked me about this, so I know that there's a lot of hype around it. I mean, we looked at it last week and it's gone way up. Nice golden cross. I would say, something like this is what you're looking at. I want to see it break out. I want to avoid kind of this weird head and shoulders, but I don't think that's really a problem. And it's holding this support that we drew here. So kind of looks pretty promising, I would say. You could draw a line here, certainly, which has never been tested. We have some clear support kind of in this area. Maybe, I think that's fair to draw something here. Hey, does my stream look super like foggy and shitty? I can't really tell, but it usually does. I changed my settings slightly, and obviously I have a new computer coming, which I've told you guys about like so many times. I'm excited. Apparently it's got like a laser engraving of my name on the side because somebody's building it for me. I also got a haircut, a home haircut. Pretty good for a home haircut. Totally has nothing to do with anything you guys want to talk about, but I'm happy I got a haircut because I was feeling shaggy. So yeah, I'd be looking for a break of this line, a hold of this support. But, this is definitely, depending on how you draw it, you could draw a pennant or you could draw sort of a wedge. It hasn't really fully formed yet. But this is bullish consolidation at the top of a major move. So once this exit, you should see this heading way up. And listen, it's been up here, right? So hard to even discern. Let's have fun and do it this way, right? First of all, let's delete all this. I don't even care about any of these lines for now. Make it pretty. Let's just pull fibs from the top to the bottom. Right? Look, perfect resistance supporting all these candles. This is the resistance. This is the exact resistance of these. Aren't fibs amazing? Yeah, 720 max res. Nope, looks good. foggy, stream okay, blurry. Okay, glad we got consensus there. It's like fucking getting Americans to vote for a president. You're blurry, you look great. You're terrible, I hate you. You're the best. So, we stopped near the 38.2, finding perfect support on the 23.6. So even if we get like a golden pocket retracement of this, which is like, around 61.8 to around 65. So somewhere here, which is the retracement you expect on any asset after a major move, somewhere in here, like that would still take this to 2709 from 1612-ish. Still a big move up. And that's actually like, depending on how you would draw this. Something, let's say that like we had this as the flagpole. That's not exact. Look, if it breaks out right up here, confluence, right? Even though, listen, if it's a descending wedge, that's not your target. So this would need to form into more of a flag, like something like this, for that to be the target, maybe like that. The descending wedge target is actually just the top of the wedge. But this is hard to really draw at this moment. And you could actually, this might be a fair way to draw it, kind of like this. And then, but either way, it's bullish consolidation. You're expecting it to break up, up and away. So, if alts continue to do well, I would think that this should at least be targeting these fib levels, which, like I said, line up. If you were going to draw support and resistance, these are the same exact areas you would draw it in. That's why pulling fibs is like the most simple thing you can possibly do as a beginning trader. Super easy. Super easy. Polkastarters, my favorite. Ooh, seeing a little dip. I might buy that later. I played myself on Polkastarters recently, actually. So like, if you guys have been following, one of my favorite trading strategies is on these coins that are brand new, is finding out, especially if I was in the pre-sale, you guys might not understand is a lot of people get the opportunity, certainly influencers, hedge funds, things like that, to invest in these seed rounds and pre-sales of a lot of these. So I was in on the pre-sale of Polkastarters. But what you see happen is when the coin is released, everybody gets like their dump sort of at the same time, right? So like if there's a release schedule of 4 months and it's 25% each month, there's a moment when everybody gets their coins and a lot of those people don't want to hold it and they dump it to shit. So that was probably, I'm trying to this chart, I don't know. Oh, here it is, right? The 29th. So Polkastarter was at like 20 something cents. It released here. And let's go to the 4 hour. Man, it's very clear to see. So you can figure these out. Guys who keep asking me if I'm going to chart something, this is what I'm going to chart. See these at the top? Really easy, really easy. I'm going to chart the ones that are open. I'll also look at Bitcoin later, maybe. So where is this? The 19th, the 29th, 29th, right? So it mooned the first one because this was the release. But look at, this is how you get these wild ass candles on the first day. People buy it on the public sale and then all the people dump their allocation because they're vesting, right? So like, I don't know the vesting schedule on Polkastarters, but like, they get their coins here and then they get another 10% in a month and another 10%. It can be over a year. It can be over a few weeks, whatever it is. But there's a scheduled release date for every single person who invested at that exact same time. No, I cannot chart AXS or anything that you guys are randomly asking me for. But you think you would have learned that by now. But anyways, I digress. So you see these dumps, right? So here, I knew that it was going to probably dump when people release. I didn't sell anything. I bought this at 10 cents very publicly. So it's in my timeline. And it was back, within the day it was up like 80%, it was back up to 18 cents. But this time I decided to get cute like an idiot. And I sold some, it was taking profit big time. But I sold some and then I wasn't here and it only dipped from like 19 cents to 17 cents and then absolutely skyrocketed. So I missed out on a bunch of that. And I actually had sold some to buy back lower, which is one of the most dangerous things that you can do. So it was stupid. I'm admitting it. I'm telling you guys. That was dumb. I sold some thinking I'd buy it back. I still have a very healthy position. I'm not worried about it, but I definitely lost some potential earnings by doing that. Can I chart CT sentiment? I wish. I mean, clearly we have some sort of bull flag here ish, right? Yeah, something like that. This is such crap, this ChartX site, but at least you can chart things that aren't on TradingView, right? So, I mean, this is flagging pretty holy sport. I mean, I would honestly, at this price right here, where it is there's definitely a case to buy that, right? But, after seeing how powerful this was after how much this was bought up, we have a very, very clear very, very clear flagpole. So if we extrapolate that up, this chart, there's clearly, there it does work. I don't think it did. Which is putting us back up here at like 56 cents, which of course is right at this peak resistance area here. I mean, Polkastarter looks really good. I should tell you it looks bad so I can buy back lower again. But it looks really good. And this team, I mean, they're unbelievable. They're doing crazy partnerships and deals. It's built on Polkadot. Everything about it is just positive and optimistic. So I would be personally looking somewhere here. If you get another drop to the bottom of the flag, there's probably another support here. Then I would buy that for sure. And of course, I could have done that this whole way up, but waiting for it to drop like a noob. Right. So to sum that up really quick, just so you understand, a lot of these coins, particularly the DeFi ones that are having like public sales, there's a lot of people who had the opportunity. There's nothing wrong with this. It's like early investment in anything, who got to buy in lower. And there largely are many getting the release of their coins at the same time as the public sale. So you might see that initial dump. And if you can find out when those allocations are being released, on their schedule, you often get those people selling the asset. And the reason they're selling, it's not like they're dumping on you, which is what, like, it's a poor perception, because like if you're having 10% released every month for 10 months, you keep asking me what fib settings I use. I just use fib settings. I don't really know what that means. 23 points, like 23.6, 38.2, 68, just fib settings. The Fibonacci level is a Fibonacci level. I don't really understand that question, but I see that you've asked like 10 times. And so actually that worked for you. You asked me the question 10 times and I finally answered it for you, Timothy Burke. Congratulations, you played me. So like if you're getting your coins 10% a month, you're a forced holder to some degrees, right? You're going to be holding for those other months. So they sell that little bit and take their profit and get their money out along the way. So it's not really a bad thing. I don't want to have you view it as like they're dumping on people. It's just that your coins, you have no power of what to do with them for the next, year. So people often sell. I don't generally do that. I like to buy them on the dip because I only invest in projects I believe in. So yeah. Fib settings now. Why would you tell me your fibs? I sounded like one of those like metal dudes. Tell me fibs. I guess, yeah. YFI. I posted this in the newsletter today, so you probably all read it, right? You all read the free newsletter today? Read it. Can you read? Read it. I've been bullish on this for a while, so no mystery here. We had this breakout, inverse head and shoulders. Yes, this came back below, which was not ideal, but it came back above, flipped it as support, flipped this key level of support, and is moving up. Target of this inverse head and shoulders based on the depth here is right here around 2.01. Fibs now. Show me your fibs. Why won't you show me your fibs? Imagine if you told a girl to show Show you her fibs. What do you think she would say? Tell her you were just doing technical analysis on her. So, we also had this kind of thing going on. Show me your fibs now. So you also have this sort of like bull flag breakout. I just think YFI looks really good here. I think we're going back up to this area, but who knows, man? Bitcoin could ruin this at any moment. But to conclude this talk, we have a inverse head and shoulders breakout with increased volume in the head. That's good. That's what you want to see. This is a super fake out and kind of almost invalidates it. But then you have this move right back above this key support and pop right off of it. Also a bull flag. So much confluence of bullish action, right? Let's look at the USDT pair. You also had sort of a bull flag on this, right? So depending on if you're the type who thinks conservatively that this was your flag, then your target is based on that. If you think this whole move was the flag, then your target from the breakout is based on that. Super simple, super easy. 50 MA is curling up nicely here. I think WFI. Whoa, who's Justin? There could be children. Oh, just pull your fibs out, bro. Oh, I see what's happening. Show me your fibs. Hey, you could say it nicely. Hey, just show me your fibs. It's better. Okay, so that's YFI. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. I haven't looked. Is Bitcoin doing really good? Is Bitcoin doing really bad? Here, I'm just going to pull up random Bitcoin charts because I don't know which ones. I have like 50 Bitcoin charts. I hope there are no children watching. You guys are saying there could be children watching. That would be terrible. Don't let your kids watch my streams. Your stream is super clear, bro. It's super foggy. It's super clear. You sound terrible. I can't hear you. I can hear you. Really good feedback. Having seen Jazzy Jeff live, I'll agree that he is a phenomenal DJ. He's the best. He's the best. It's not really a debate. Bitcoin guys doing nothing. We are in the doing jack shit phase of the Bitcoin bull run. As you know, there's a kind of a big bearish divergence here on the daily, which is not of tremendous concern to me. Now, some people would call this a hidden bullish divergence that somewhat cancels it out because that's lower. I don't think so, because I don't think these are defined enough points. But I see people talking about it, and hey, man, everybody gets their own opinion because technical analysis is not a science. It actually has the word anal in it. Random fact. Down, right? So, but I'm not too worried about that. But let's look at this. So I kind of see it now as ranging with this little deviation up here at the top. I love, of late, if you've been in the newsletter, you know, I love trading off the 50 MA on the 4 hours. It's down here. I mean, it's like in the 10,000s, right? But the 50 MA has been super powerful. So it was tracking here, but starting here, support, child support, moral support, failure, but it broke back above, and now you had support here once again. My daughter, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I was going to read it. It seemed funny, something about your daughter. Awkward conversation, math. My daughter was still don't understand it. You even corrected it. Sorry. I don't see Bitcoin really doing anything right now. And honestly, like if Bitcoin did this, let's pull up a daily. This is what I want Bitcoin to do. Wait. And I want it to keep doing it through 2021. The like Bitcoin investor doesn't want to do that, but what we would have the opportunity to make so much money trading altcoins if Bitcoin did that. Oh my God, sideways Bitcoin, like consolidating in a range under the all-time high would be super, super fun. But for now, like the only bearish thing I see is this potentially, and then you can take your own interpretation. But generally, you know, I think that Bitcoin looks super, super good still, pushing against the all-time high, consolidating against resistance. Just don't see much cause for concern. And like, who cares? Like, even if it drops down to 14, 15, 13, 16, same thing. Cool. Seeing the word DAW in a crypto stream. Yeah. Because funk is analog and not quantized by DAW. Yeah. You never quantize your drums. If you quantize your drums, you sound like you made a robot song. You got to have that funk. You know? Bebop. Boom bat. People now are wondering what the hell I'm talking about. You're the wind beneath my wings. See you on the flip side. I love the movie Beaches. My mom used to make me watch that, and she's like, cry her eyes out. She loves Bette Midler. It was brutal. You are the wind beneath my wings. You guys know that song? I took a funny story. I took my mom to meet Bette Midler. I used to be the DJ for Target events in New York City. So every time Target did something, I would be the DJ. And so they had a partnership with Bette Midler. She had something called the New York Restoration Fund, I believe. And they would go into bad neighborhoods all over New York City and put in community gardens. They did one in each borough. And so I would DJ the openings of these things, and Bette Midler would be there. And so I flew my parents up to New York City so my mom could meet Bette Midler. She got her autograph, and she got to take pictures with her and stuff. You can quantize your drums with swing, yes, of course, but you know what I mean. And so my mom got to meet Bette Midler. That was like one of the greatest moments of her life and mine, because I got to fly my mom to New York City to like meet her idol, which was pretty ridiculous. So I would say that she was the wind beneath my wings. You guys are wondering what the hell I'm talking about, but somebody commented that I was the wind beneath their wings. So I'm done with my charting here. If you guys want to ask me non-charting questions, I will stop sharing my screen and stare awkwardly into your eyes. But let me go back through the comments here. Hi. This is like my DMs. Every time I go in my DMs, there's like 17 messages. There's like, hi, hello, sir. Hello, sir. There's one person who asks me for money in my DMs at least 4 times a day. Sir, can you help me? Sir, please. There's one amazing guy who I love who wishes me a good morning and a great day every single day in my DMs. Guy's awesome. I count on him as like clockwork. Sorry for pissing you off. First time being on a YouTube stream, dude. You didn't piss me off. I am an unemotional robot. I just like having fun with you guys. You're all amazing. You're all great. If I troll back, it's just, little nudging and poking and having fun. Have you been to Burning Man before, kiddos? So Cormac, I was literally talking to my wife about this yesterday, that was one of my like great regrets in life, is that I never made it to Burning Man. I had opportunities and I always passed because it was like, see, the thing about being a DJ that's different maybe than other people is like, if you skip work, you don't get paid. It's not like you get paid vacation. So every time you want to go do something, like I would travel all the time, but it was for work, which was amazing. But if I like wanted to take 2 weeks off and not DJ, it was passing on like 2 weeks of pay and paid gigs. So like Burning Man, I never had a paid gig offer there. So I just never went because I always had to miss a weekend or 2 of work. So I really just couldn't like justify it or afford it, which kind of sucked. So I never made it to Burning Man. My 2 biggest like party regrets are didn't make it to Burning Man, and like I had a chance in the late 90s to go to Ibiza when it was like really peaking, and like I had to cancel my ticket for some reason and I never got to go there. So, well, I signed your autograph, sure. After COVID, if you had a boxing match with another crypto Twitter personality, who would it be and why? I used to box. I think I could probably hold my own against pretty much anyone on crypto Twitter, but there's nobody, I don't have any enemies. I have people who view me as an enemy for whatever reason, people who have told a lot of lies and actually made my life quite difficult, but I pity them. I pity the fool who wants to box me. But I mean, like if it was for charity or something, I box pretty much anyone except for one of those Paul brother dudes. My God, he knocked out Nate Robinson so fast. When are you expecting the peak of this bull run? I have no idea, honestly. I don't know when we will fight Sile. It's the funniest comment I've ever seen. I actually wouldn't fight him. He was like a borderline professional athlete. He played he played baseball at Stanford. The dude is super jacked and intense, and I'm sure that he's the last person on here that I actually want to fight. Peak of the bull run, I honestly have no idea. I'm not in the business of predicting when things are going to top out or finding tops and bottoms. If we see a major correction, I just think you buy the dip. But I think, the peak of this bull run could be very, very high. I don't see why not. I think we'll go back and forth between, having alt season times and alts getting wrecked and Bitcoin moving and all those things. What is the best time to open the chart and how we read it? Well, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if that means my shirt, a chart, but a shart where I'm from means that you tried to fart and you pooped in your pants. You sharted. So I would say that there's no best time to open a chart. And I don't know how you would read that chart. Man, sorry to get gross, but I didn't write it. Oakenfold, Thievery Live in the Desert. Somebody said, oh, that's amazing at Burning Man to see Oakenfold. So I was like a trance DJ, but I was like too cool for Paul Oakenfold. And I actually, I owned a magazine in Philadelphia in the early 2000s. I did an interview with Paul Oakenfold, and I called him Ball Stroke and Hold to his face when we were doing the interview, and he did not like that, but it was really funny. Yeah. I'm trying to see what else we got here. Do you have any experience with trading bots? The only bot that I've tried of late is the Psycho bot from my friend Altcoin Psycho, and it's been crushing it. Actually, he's giving away a month free trial of that, so you should check that out. I want to fight Sahil. He's so perfect and has a punch above his. I'm going to tell him. What do I think of Grayscale accumulating Bitcoin? I think it's extremely bullish. I think it's a great arbitrage opportunity for institutions to, lock in their funds. And I just think that they're buying more than it's being mined. It means we're going to have a supply side shock when others do the same. So I think it's pretty obvious. Who you got in the Florida Tennessee game on Saturday? Come on, dude. Florida. Not even a question. Trading gods, are you asking? So yes, I don't know if you're asking about this one. Go ahead and say it. So I'm recording a series called Trade Gods for YouTube, and the first one is with Peter Brandt, and it's awesome. And the idea of the show, which is like recorded, not a live stream, is for me to dig deep into great traders like mindset and their strategies and how they look at things, sort of an educational thing. And so I've already done Peter Brandt. I've recorded with Bitcoin Jack Sparrow. I've got a lot of others lined up. So that's going to probably come out next Monday, the first one. Let me see what else we got. What kind of trance? At the time, it was more like uplifting. Then I became like one of those like deep progressive house dudes. You got to remember, this was like the late 90s, early 2000s. So it wasn't like what everybody kind of thinks of now. It was more like kind of on the borderline of techno, whatever. So what else we got? So you have leveraged Bitcoin trades long now? No, I don't. No, I got stopped out of my last leverage trade. My favorite setup to hunt for is oversold bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart. That's my favorite. Do you think XRP will get above $10 in 2021? How high? What's the price of an XRP now? I don't even know the price. I just know when I think they're going to go up. $10? That seems like a lot. Where are we, like $2 now? Are we even at $1? Are we even at $1? We're at 68 cents. You're talking about $10? $10 for a Ripple? But $10. Is that a typo? Did you mean $1? $10. Let me find $10 on this chart. For a Ripple? No. Anything's possible, but this is the entire chart. Where did you get $10? Oh my God, if that happens, then McAfee will eat his dick. I'm not eating my dick. He can eat his dick. $10. No, I don't see any reason to target that. I could not see a justifiable way to find that as a target. But by all means. thankful, grateful for I'm sorry to hear about your job, but it's really great to hear that you're making it in this world. That's awesome. You missed OMG, and you can go ahead and rewind. $10 for a Ripple. A Ripple? What is? Did I ever make it down to Austin when DJing? Yeah. So, yeah, I used to play South by Southwest every year for years. Actually, I released one of my projects, which the art is up on the wall, the one that says Red Hot Chili Peppers. Can you see that? The one at the top. So I did the release party in Austin, and the guests that I had for the show were Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa. Now I'm blanking. DJ Ski was there. Yeah, they all played my opening party, and it was insane because since it was like in a venue for like 250 people, and like I'm playing and there's a Snoop concert going on, and then Diddy showed up, Talib Kweli was there, Lady Gaga was there, Amber Rose was there with Wiz Khalifa. I mean, it was insane. And like the VIP room area was like the size of this stage. So it was literally like sitting on a couch, drinking Grey Goose with Lady Gaga, watching Snoop. And then I went on, I mean, insane. So yes, I've played in Austin probably 10 times. Fibs and Ripples. That would be a good name for this stream. What else we got here? I'm deep in the comments. A Ripple? Show me your fibs. I would love to do a live session with Chris. I had him on the podcast, and I will definitely do it again, but he's way smarter than me. Never got a confirmation email for your newsletter. Yeah, I have to contact review, unfortunately. Do you drink, smoke, or experiment with perception-altering substances? I got kids. So the answer is yes, all the time. No, I don't really, but when I was younger, I did. Tried everything. It was awesome. Expanded my mind. I still drink sometimes, casually. But I'm in my 40s, man. My body is a temple, and the temple is old. Can't do that stuff to myself anymore. Do you still make trance music? No, not in 20 years. New subscriber, the laugh is worth the money. What are your top 5 altcoins you're holding now? Dylon, and Dylon. If you've ever seen the Chappelle Show, then you know what that's a reference to. But I love Polkastarters, Ethereum, Link, Elrond, some other shit. Yeah. Do I play Piker? It sounds British. I'm trying to go back and see what I missed. You live in Ibiza. Let's do this. Is it still? It's not the same as it was. It's peak, I think, but still beautiful and good music. But I can't really listen. Once you stop doing those mind-altering substances, trance music becomes very, very difficult. Yeah. So, are you currently invested in any marijuana stocks? Yeah. Kron. I'm in Kron, and I think it's awesome. And I think marijuana stocks are probably a pretty good bet with Biden. And I also just realized that if I put the comments in front of me, then I don't have to be awkwardly looking to the side when I talk to you guys. Look at that. I'm learning. Can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm not going to be partying in my 80s. Mr. XJ22. Sorry. Do I play poker online? I don't play poker much anymore. I used to play all the time. I used to go to all the underground, dirty poker houses in New York City. But there was one that I used to go to that was called, they called it PlayStation on 14th Street right by Union Square. And it got super robbed. And someone shot the cashier person in the chest with a shotgun. And so I stopped going to underground poker houses in New York City. No substance needed. Yeah, I don't know. Different for everyone, I guess. I'm still going through your comments. Paul Oakenshield. Yes, that's the trance DJ for the Lord of the Rings. Right? Oh, somebody else wants to see my fibs. So dirty. I'm going to probably sign off in a couple minutes. If you have any last amazing questions, now is your big chance. Oh, you got to hit the thumbs up thing. 2 people hit the thumbs down. They don't like me. I'm unliked. It's cold, man. I feel like people show up to people's streams to literally like hit the thumbs up button and leave just to be dick faces. I've never been in Istanbul, and it's somewhere that I really want to go. One of my best friends lives there. She's been there for like 10 years, and I never made it over. Another thing that we kind of had a trip that never happened. So, hey, my stream is a little, I'm looking at myself now on YouTube, which is weird. It's a little less blurry than it was before. My hair looks fucking great. Fear and greed index at all-time high of 95. I mean, it's worth noting, but not worth trading on. How did I meet my wife? Is that too personal to yes, of course, I've heard of Selection Radio. I know all those dudes. How did I meet my wife? So I met my wife, Emmy. Must have been like 2008. So I was like, I needed press photos for some magazine thing. And so there was a photographer that came and took all these pictures of me. And I was DJing at a club called Hero in New York City that night. And I invited the photographer, and she was like, I'm going to bring a bunch of my friends. And so my wife was one of her friends. So I DJ'd at this club, and at the end of the night, my future wife came up to me and she told me that I was the best DJ that she'd ever heard in her life. She actually said that. I'm not exaggerating. Right. And I said, thank you. And I was kind of working and distracted. And that was it. Like I kind of blew her off, and I didn't mean to. She says that I did, but I did mean to. And then I turned around and she was like leaving. And I said to my friend, I was like, wow, that girl is really, really attractive. I should probably talk to her more. And then she left. And like 6 months later, I got a Facebook request from this beautiful woman who was wearing a Florida Gator hat. And I'm a Florida Gator fan. And so I messaged her. I was like, do I know you? I think I would remember you, especially like if you're a Gator fan. And she had connected with my manager that night on Facebook for some reason. So they had like been in touch, and we reconnected on Facebook, and I relentlessly flirted with her, and she was coming to visit New York City. She lived in Florida. A couple of weeks later, and she came, and we spent literally like every minute together for the next 3 weeks when she was there. Then we dated long distance for almost 2 years, and then got married, had kids, life. Yeah, that's how I met her. So I met her DJing. Apparently, I kind of blew her off, and then yeah. Where's the new Ibiza? I don't know. It's in Ibiza. Yeah, guys. So I think that's about it. I'm going to have to go get a life, pick up my kids, do important things. You guys have been awesome. I really enjoy this. I was supposed to do another stream at this time tomorrow with Simon Dixon, but it got canceled. We're going to probably do it next week. So I am going to maybe try to schedule something for tomorrow, maybe get one of your favorite chartists or traders on here. Tell your friends to subscribe to my channel, because I need more people to follow me to make me feel important. Please sign up for the newsletter, please, please, please. And check out Femex. And really, guys, that is it. You are amazing. Until next time. Peace out.